Hello everyone, this is Vinay MR. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the topic use of civil engineering software for analysis. Today, there are several softwares available to analyze, design, and to build large projects in no time. Most of the companies commonly using softwares like ETABS, SAP, StatPro, and also Autodesk robust analysis for the design purpose. In our laboratory, we are using this software, that is Autodesk Robot Structural Analysis, which is a product from the company Autodesk. We can simply call it as Robot also. The student version is freely available in their website. This software is used for modeling, analysis, and design of various structures like RCC structure, steel structure, truss members, and it is having over 70 different country codes for material design. We can do all types of analysis like linear, non-linear, also dynamic analysis. Today we can discuss about the linear analysis, that is experiment number one, analysis of continuous beam. So our aim is to analyze the continuous beam by using Autodesk Robot Structural Analysis software. Here we are having the continuous beam. Here hinge support, roller, hinge support, and fixed support subjected to uniformly distributed load of 25 kN per meter, point load of 20 kN, and uniformly varying load of 30 kN per meter. After modeling this one, we can analyze this, and the results we are getting: deflected shape of this beam, bending moment diagram, and also shear force diagram. Now let's move on to the software for the further discussion. Okay, we are in the front page of our Autodesk Robot Structural Analysis software. To create a new project, click on this new option. We got one window. Here we are having so many options. This one for building design. This is for frame 3D design, shell design, truss 3D design, truss 2D design, and here it is frame 2D design. Our continuous beam comes under this frame 2D design. So click on this option. Now we got the main page of our frame 2D design. Here we can see the title bar and R Pro. This represents the robot structural analysis, and we call this one as a menu bar. Here the first one is file menu. It is used to create a new project or open the existing one or to save the file or to take the printout. We can use this file menu. The next one will be the editing menu. For editing purpose we can use it like cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, trim or extend. Those editing options are available in this editing menu. Then next one will be the view menu. It is used to set the display option, like a ruler we can set, then grid size, then we can create a table by using this menu. Then we are having next one, very important one, geometry menu. It is used to model our project, like we can define the axis and what type of material we are using, what is the grade of steel, what is the grade of concrete, and cross section of beam and column, and also the supports, which type of support we are using. Those things comes under this geometry menu. Then after modeling our project, we need to apply the loads. So for that we are having loads menu. Here we can specify the intensity of load in terms of dead load, live load, wind load, or earthquake load. Then after the application of the loads, we need to analyze the structure. For that we are having analysis menu. After the analysis we are getting the results, so we can use this results menu. For that we are getting the support reactions, bending moment diagram, shear force diagram, or deflection of the frame, and the stresses in the members. All those results we are getting in this menu. Then if the things are within the limit, we need to move on to the design. For that we can use this design menu. We can design steel member or timber member or RC structural member by using this menu. Then we are having the next one, tools. Here we can set the required code book for the design purpose, or we can set the units. Then we can estimate the cost of our project by using this menu. This is about the menu options available in our software. Then below that we are having one bar. This one we can call it as a standard toolbar. Here we are having shortcut keys which are available in the menu options, like new project, open project, save the file, cut, copy, paste, undo, redo. Those shortcut keys are available here. Then we are having another bar. Here also we are having shortcut keys. This one we can call it as a structural modified toolbar. Here also same thing. We are having the axis definition, then bars, supports, which are available here in the geometry menu, or it may be in the load menu. Those options are having the shortcut key with this bar. We can make use of this one also. And here we are having this area. We can call this as graphic viewer or editor. We need to model our project in this area only. Here it is having some values. We call it as ruler. Start from 0, positive value, negative value. This horizontal axis is x-axis, and vertical axis is z-axis by default. Here also same thing, 0, positive value, and negative value. Then if I use my mouse, if I zoom in, it is going to increase that value. If I zoom out, it is going to decrease that value. Okay, so that is the option available. And if I hold my scroller, we are getting one hand symbol, and by using that we can view, and we can change our uh, place from the area towards left or right or up or down. Then we're having another option. This we call it as view cube. This is used to change the view of our project. If it is a three-dimensional view, we can see it in a front view, a top view, or in any direction we can see it. We can use this option. By default, it is in the front. Don't change this option. Then this we call it as view manager. So here we are having x-axis in the horizontal, z-axis in the vertical, and y-axis is perpendicular to the screen. It is used to switching between 2D to 3D or 3D to 2D. If I click on this option, we got one window. Here it is 2D, 3D, plane is XY plane, YZ plane, and XZ plane. By default it is there in 2D and the plane is XZ plane. I will work with this view only, so I will close this window. Observe, the horizontal one will be the X plane, X axis, and vertical will be the Z axis. And at the right bottom corner, we are having the unit of our project. The length is in meter, the load is in kilonewton, and the angle is in degrees. We can change it as per our requirement. This is about the main page of our Autodesk robot structural analysis. Now I will start with the first experiment. Before going to start, we are having some primary settings. So for that is units. For that, go for tools. Here units and formats. Now click on that one. We got one window. Here the dimensions. Structure dimension should be in meters. Section dimension should be in mm only. Then forces. Force should be in kilonewton, or moment should be in kilonewton meter. Then if you're going to design the structural elements, we need to set the codes also. Like steel, we can use IS 800, and RC structure we are using IS 456 2000. Like that, we can change our code book also. But in this experiment, we are going to analyze the element. I mean continuous beam. We are not going to design it, so I am not worrying about the code book. The thing is primary setting, dimension meter, and forces kilonewton. This is enough. Then I will press OK. After that, we need to model our continuous beam. For that, go for the geometry, then axis definition. Click on this option. Here we need to specify the reference axis of our continuous beam. I will move on to our continuous beam. In the x-axis, it is 0 and 3 meter. then plus 1.7, this is the reference line, and after that 1.3, then 4 meter. These are the intervals of our reference axis. For that I will move on to my software. So first one will be the 0 in the x-axis, then 3 meter, 3 add, then 3 plus 1.7 means 4.7, 4.7 add, then 4.7 plus 1.3, nothing but 6 meter, so add 6. After that 4 meter, 4 means 6 plus 4, 10 meter, 10 add. Okay, so just observe once again, in our continuous beam, x-axis is 0, 3 plus 1.7, 4.7 means plus 1.3, nothing but 6, plus 4, nothing but 10, 0, 3, 4.76 and 10. Then along the z plane in the vertical axis, so it is only 1, it is a 0 only. Okay, so for that in the z plane 0 add, yeah, then apply, close it. So we got the reference line. This is the first reference axis in the x plane, means horizontal plane, then second 3, 4, 5, but in the z axis it is only one reference axis. Now I need to specify the dimension of our bar. For that, go for the geometry, then click on the bars. So here we are having the bar type and section. In the bar type, we can take the RCC beam or RC beam, and the section, it is by default having some section B30 into 50. We can specify our own section also. To create a new section, click on this 3 dots. Okay, in this window the label is BR and material is concrete. The section type is RC beam. We can give the section dimension of our beam. Okay, I will give it as it is there in mm. See, basic dimension is in mm. I will give it as 200 mm will be the width and 450 mm will be the height of our section for 50 mm. Okay, for the analysis purpose, we are not worried about the section. Okay, for the design purpose, we need to set it properly. Now I set for width as 200, height as 450. Then I will add it and close. Now we got the section as BR 200 into 450. I will click on that BR 200 into 450. Now I need to specify the member to our continuous beam. I will start from the A point to B, then B to C, then C to D. After that, close your window. We got the continuous beam. Now I need to provide the supports for that. So our supports are in support at A, roller support at B, hinge at C and fixed at D. So in our software, to provide the supports, click on the geometry, and here we are having the supports. So click on this option. By default it is there having a fixed and pinned support. Pinned nothing but the in support. So I will delete the default values and I will set my own supports. For that, click on this delete all, press S, then I need to specify my own supports. For that, go for new support definition. Here we need to label it. I will label the first support as fixed one, then fixed support nothing but 3 reactions. It is there in x-axis, z-axis and also the moment, vertical, horizontal and moment. So 3 reactions for fixed support. I will click all the reactions and add it. And second one will be the in support. I name it as in support. For in support only 2 reactions. Select only ux and uz, unselect this ry, that means moment, and add it. Then third one will be the roller support. Name it as roller. For roller support, only one reaction, that is UZ. Okay, then add close. Okay, we got the fixed hinge roller. 3 reaction for fixed, 2 reaction for hinge support, 1 reaction for roller support. Then I will select the hinge and I place that one at the point A. It will be the hinge support. Then at this fourth one, means fourth axis, C point, this is also in support. I will provide the in support over here, and I will take the roller support in the second point. This will be the roller support. We'll specify the roller support for this. Then fixed support will be the last one. This will be the fixed support. Then close your window. Observe hinge, roller, hinge and fixed. Now to apply the loads, click on loads menu. Here we are having the option load types. So select that one. We got the load types window. Here we need to specify the loads in terms of dead load or live load or accidental load or seismic load. In our continuous beam, load applied is live load only, but we need to specify the dead load also. For analysis purpose, we are not going to consider this one, but in the software we need to specify both dead load and live load. That's why I am specifying the dead load, and the name by default it has taken as DL1, and I need to add it. Yeah, it is taken the dead load, the nature is structural, and the second one will be the live load. That's why the nature I will select it as live, and automatically it has taken the live load name as LL1. It is second. Okay, I will add that one. Yeah, we got the live load that comes under the category A. So these are the two loads I need to apply, but for our analysis we are not going to consider the dead load. We only specify the live load. So after the adding the load types, go for close. Then if I click on the loads menu once again, other things are enabled in our load menu. Now I need to specify the load definition. For that, click on that option. Here in our continuous beam, we applied the loads on the bar. Here it is UDL and point load and UVL. So in our software, we need to apply loads on the bar itself. For that, select the bar. Here so many options are available. First one will be the uniformly distributed load. So uniform load, for that, so select this one. Then in our continuous beam, see, it is 25 kilonewton per meter and it is going downward, and it is in the vertical direction. Vertical nothing but z direction. So we need to specify the load in vertical direction, means z, and it is going downward. That's why it is minus 25. Keep it in your mind. Minus indicates it is going downward, and the value of P value is 25. The intensity of that UDL is 25 kilonewton per meter will be the unit of that UDL, and it is coordinate system. I have taken it as local, and I need to add it. After that, I need to specify the bar. It is acting on the span AB. For that, select this one, choose this AB along this direction. If I click on that, it is going to add that load on that member. So first one is over UDL, then the second will be the point load of intensity 20 kilonewton. So I will move on to my software. Here the option for the point load is bar force, fourth option here. I will select that. Here I need to specify the point load intensity. It is F. The intensity of that is 20 kilonewton, which is going downward. In our software, we need to specify the value of F, which is going vertical, means we need to specify it in Z direction. The value is minus 20. That minus indicates it is going downward, minus 20, and the distance from here, from B, it is 1.7. That's why I will specify the X value as 1.7. 1.7. It is start from here, and the distance is X value is 1.7, and it should be absolute, means it should be in meters. Keep it in your mind. The point force F, only the point force F value is 20, minus indicates going downward, the unit is kilonewton, and x value is 1.7 because the distance of the point of application is 1.7 meter from the point B, and it should be in absolute, and select the coordinate system as local, add it, then choose your member to apply that point load. So I will choose this BC member. Now it is applied uh, along that axis what I referred, reference axis on that screen. It is over. I applied the point load. Then the next one will be the UVL. So UVL, nothing but uniformly varying load. For that, we are having this trapezoidal load in our software. If I click on that, we got this trapezoidal load. Here, the two values we need to specify, P1 and P2. P1 will be the first, P2 will be the second, and I need to specify x1 and x2, the distance of that x1 and x2. In my figure, the value of P1 is 0 here, the value of P2 is 30, and x1 is 0, x2 is 4 meter. So I will specify that one. P1 is 0, P2 is minus 30. Minus indicates it's going in downward direction, okay, and the 30 will be the intensity, and x1 is 0 means it start from here itself, no spacing over there, so it start from 0 only. Then the entire span is 4 meter. Is it right? That length is 4 meter, so I will specify x2 as 4 meter, and it should be meter means absolute value, and consider the coordinate system as local, add it, then select this member, choose this member to apply that load. I will select that one. So it is applied now, start from the 0, and the maximum intensity is minus 30, which is going downward direction. So after application of that load, and I will close this, okay. So if I close that window, the load is went out, but we have applied the load, it is not showing. To see that load and the value, click on right click on the screen and select this display. Now we need to specify the loads. For that, go for the loads. So select this load symbol and load values. This will show the load symbol and load value also. So after that, I will apply and press OK. Just see here, the value is minus 25 going downward, UDL, and point minus 20 which is going downward, and it is UVL of intensity minus 30 kilonewton per meter. Uh, to see the values clearly, same, go for the geometry, sorry, view, the display, increase this symbol size to 40, apply, OK. Now we can see the values clearly, right? Okay, then after the application of the load, we need to analyze this continuous beam. For that, go for the analysis menu. Here, go for the calculations. This will automatically calculate the values of that, automatically analyze the system. So just click on this calculations. Now it is going to analyze the entire system. Yeah, after the analysis, we need to take the results. Analysis part is over. Now I need to see the results. For that, go for the results and click on diagram for bars. So if I click that, we got another window here. Here we are having the options: NTM, deformation, stresses, reactions. First I need to see the support reactions. For that, click on the reactions, then click on all. In this window, click on all. So it is selecting Fx, Fz, My, means it is going to show the value of horizontal force, vertical force, and also the moment. And I need the diagram for linear supports, and the descriptions also I need to I need the value of that one. That's why I will select this descriptions. And in the parameters, go for the parameters, okay. Then go for the labels, means I need to see the value of that one, okay. Then I need all the values. For that, values, all values, okay, and differentiate it and fill it. select these things: label, value should be all, and differentiated, and fill it. Apply and close it. Now observe, we are having the reaction Fz 54, 31 here, 24 here, and here it is in support. No horizontal force here applied on that system. So Fx is 0, only Fz value is there. So it is showing those reactions in the continuous beam. These are all the support reactions. If you want to drag it down, you just drag it. Okay, now I need to take the printout of this one. To take the printout, go for the file menu, click on the screen capture. So then you can name it as continuous beam. Continuous beam 1. Then press OK. Okay. After that, I need to see the deflected shape of a continuous beam, and I need to remove this load to see the deflected shape. For that same thing, right click on the screen, go for the display, select the loads, unselect this load symbol and load values. This will hide the loads. Apply and OK. So now the loads are hidden within the screen. Now I don't want the reactions also. For that, go for the results, diagram for bars. Here the reactions, remove all the selected things Fx, Fz and My, and also the diagram for linear support and description. Then apply it. So it is removed the reactions of those that supports. Then here I need to see the deflected shape of that. For that, go for the deformation. Okay. Then select the exact deformation for bars. Select that one. Then go for apply. So it is showing the deflected shape of our continuous beam, and click on the normalize. Okay. So this will set for the scale. As per the aspect ratio, it is going to normalize the deflected shape. Then close it. So you just see here the value is 0, 0, 0. It is not 0, it is less than 0. That's why it is showing only 1 point. Okay. To see the exact value of the deflected shape, click on the tools, units and formats. Select that one. In this window, click on other. Here the displacement it is only having the 0. Increase that one. If I increase that to 3 digits, press OK. So now I got 0.446, 0.120 and 0.095. So the red value indicates the maximum value. Maximum is 0.446. It is showing here also. Maximum value is 0.446. And the green indicates it is a minimum value, least value of that displacement. Okay. Now to take the snapshot of this one, go for the file, go for and select this screen capture. You can name this one as deflected shape. Deflected shape. Okay. After that, click on OK. Then I need to see the bending moment diagram. For that, go for the results. Same thing, diagram for bars. First, remove that deflected shape. For that, go for the deformation. Select this one. Apply. So it is removed. Now to see the shape bending moment diagram, click on the NTM. So here we are having the option in the NTM FZ force and My moments. My moments indicates the bending moment diagram. FZ force indicates the shear force diagram. First I will see the bending moment diagram. For that, click on My moments, apply, normalize and close. So we got the bending moment diagram of that, and I will drag it down. In the bending moment diagram, I don't want to see the supports. To hide these supports, select this fourth option, support symbol, support symbols. So click on that. So it is removed. So now I got a continuous beam with the bending moment diagram. So values are visible here like this. The maximum bending moment value is 20.28. It is sagging portion. This one is hogging. Negative indicates the hogging. Positive indicates the sagging. The maximum value is 20.22 to H. and the minimum value positive and negative shear reinforcement is minus 27.23. This is the hogging, and this will be the sagging bending moment. So to see the to take the screen capture of this one, go for the file, click on the screen capture, and name it as bending moment diagram. Bending moment diagram. So click on OK. Now last one, shear force diagram. For that, go for the results, same diagram for bars. So in this NTM, first remove this MY moment and click on that FZ force. This indicates the shear force diagram. Apply, normalize, and close. Now we got the shear force diagram. This will be the positive shear force, and this will be the negative shear force. Here it is UDL, that's why the shear force diagram is linear, and it is constant here, and it is parabolic shape for UVL. Okay, this will be the shear force diagram. To take the screen capture of this one, go for the file, screen capture, name it as shear force diagram. Shear force diagram, and then click on OK. So now I got all the figures, the deflected shape, bending moment diagram, shear force diagram. Now I need to take the printout of that one in a PDF format. For that, go for the file. Before going to convert to the PDF file, first we need to set the page. For that, click on the page setup. So I will select that page setup. Now observe, we are having the page A4 sheet only. Don't change this one. Go for directly the header and footer. Here, if the title page and table of content is selected, unselect those things. I don't want the title page and table of contents. I need only the header and footer. Okay. I need to edit this header. For that, go for the edit. Here we need to name the author and also the file and project name. Here the name of author I given it as Vinay MR, and in your window you just write your name, and I will specify the file name as continuous beam, continuous beam 1. It is continuous beam 1. Then the project name you can write it as software application lab. Okay. Then close this one, press save changes yes, and in the header is over. Footer, now if I click on the footer, it is showing the date. Okay, yeah, I need the date also, and page number I need. So for that, I don't want to change any settings in that footer. Just I will close it. After that, press OK. Now go for the file, then print out composition, select that one. Here I have already taken the screen capture of the continuous beam, deflected shape, bending moment diagram, and shear force diagram. I need all these figures. For that, click on this all. Now it is moved from this box to the right side box. Now I need to see the preview of our PDF. So for that, go for the preview. Yeah, now we got the figures, and to set it properly, click on the edit. I got a pencil symbol. Now I need to edit this continuous beam. Click on this figure. Now zoom it by using your scroller in the mouse. Just maximize this up to your screen. Okay, now it is showing all the values within the area. After this, go for the return to preview. Yeah, it is showing within my area only with all the values. Now I need to zoom this one also. For that, click on this reflected shape, zoom it properly within the screen by using your scroller in the mouse, and after that return to preview. Yeah, these two figures are over. Then click on the next page. Okay, this indicates the next page. I have two more figures here, bending moment diagram and shape force diagram. For bending moment diagram, click on that. Here also same thing, zoom it, return to preview, and also in the shear force diagram, select this, zoom it, place it in the middle, and return to preview. Yeah, I got all these figures. Then to take the printout, click on print. Now in that window, it is showing uh, print with the PDF form. Yeah, I need it in PDF form only. So select OK. In this window, it is showing the specification of that folder where we need to save the file. So you can save your file in your USNM folder, or you can save in the desktop only. I am saving the file in the desktop. I will select the desktop and I name it as continuous beam 1, continuous beam 1, and I will save this file cb1. So it is saving as a PDF file. It is over. Then close it and save this file also. I need this file. For that, go for the file, save in your folder, name it as continuous beam and save. Okay, after that I'm going to minimize the screen and minimize this one also. So in the desktop I got cb1. I click on that cb1. So it is showing the PDF file. Here it is the software with the software application lab project, the figures continuous beam 1, the continuous beam with the values of that, and here the deflected shape of the continuous beam with the maximum and minimum value, the bending moment diagram, sagging on dogging bending moment with the maximum minimum value showing here, and also the shear force diagram. So just take the printout of this PDF file. This completes the first experiment, continuous beam. Okay, thank you one and all.